name is Carol Nyamuranganga. I am your health coach, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm very excited. I first want to welcome each one of you from wherever you are. I know we are from diverse places. I want to welcome each one of you. These sessions are usually very easy. Time will fly for our first timers. Time really flies. And so we don't want to waste time. By 8, we usually start so that we can finish on time. Today, we are talking about infertility in women. Our poster, and thank you to Mr. Douglas, who has been very, very kind to us. He is the one who does our beautiful posters. He's our technology person. He's the one who sets up the meetings. So big up, Mr. Douglas. We appreciate you and we honor you. For all our participants, today our first participant was Makwasi Enos from Uganda. Yay! He has decided to hide his face. Normally, he's the one who keeps me company, but today I see I'm not alone. I wish I knew the name of the person using Oppo because I would call her by her name. She's the only one I can see. The rest of you, I can't see you. But I see your present, Shelina. I see your present. Someone else is using Galaxy. Someone else is using, what is this? Oppo. Douglas is present. And as people are logging in, I just want to say a big thank you to each one of you. Our chat box is usually open. You can write a message. We try and mute so that we can be able to hear this session clearly and so that we can be able to interact. So without further ado, I would want to start this conversation on infertility because this is one of the conversations that most people who come to Carol, your health coach, are either looking for solutions for that are related to infertility. Infertility is one of the words that in Africa, we are scared of it. We stigmatize the word infertility. Sometimes we misuse it because we use it in the wrong forums, because we use it to mean something totally different. And so I know most people, some people would even log in to just come and hear what do we have to say. There's also someone else who could have logged in because they have gone through a journey and they've been trying to conceive, they would want to conceive, or they are in the journey of, they've been told by their doctor they are infertile. So the first thing I'm here to talk about is that sometimes not everyone who has been told, who has been written off as infertile, is indeed infertile. That is a point that I put across because infertility, it's very broad. Yes, it is very broad, but not everyone who has been told that they are infertile is completely written off. This I am saying in confidence because the past 7 years that I have been Carol, your health coach, I have been able to interact with men and women who had previously been written off and had been told, you know what, you can never sire a child. I've met men and women, couples who have struggled to conceive for quite some time. But then when we started the journey, when we did what we could do, when we trusted in God, because one thing I say is that conception is divine. No one will lie to you. Even when we talk about conception through even assisted ways like IVF, it is still divine. There are enough times, there are enough people who've tried IVF and it did not work because it was not time, because it was not divinely chosen to work. So one conclusion I have made is that conception is very divine. So infertility in a woman, to try and simplify it, we say when a woman tries to conceive for at least 1 year, a woman below 35, we give them 1 year, when you have really walked through the journey of trying to conceive for more than 1 year, then we say infertility. But does that mean that you will never conceive? No. There are women who have walked through the journey of being infertile for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, some even 20 years, and yet they still conceived. So it doesn't mean because you're now past 1 year, you will never conceive. So infertility is grouped. We say that there is a woman is infertile when they cannot be able to conceive after 1 year when they are below 35 years. When they are above 35 years, it should be six months. Anytime between 1 to 6 months and they are not able to conceive, that is when a woman is regarded as infertile. So infertility is caused by different things, different variety of things, and some of the causes of infertility are, I will share with you as I type on our chat box. So if you miss, you can check the notes on our chat box, and I will be sharing them. So the one of the causes of infertility is mainly age, because remember, a woman, as you age, a woman starts, the body starts producing ovaries, some very early in life, others are late bloomers like I was. And a woman, the moment they start their monthly periods, during adolescence, it's when they, they are able to, they're able to start producing the eggs, the ova. So as a woman is aging, the production of the ova will come to a halt, because at some point we will say that that woman is undergoing menopause. That is when it comes to a halt. So there is a specific designated time by God for a woman to be able to produce ova. So some of the causes of infertility is that at some point some women undergo through menopause. We call it premature menopause. This is now a cause of infertility in women. Premature menopause is where it is either it was caused by natural factors, it was caused by injury, maybe an injury that caused your uterus to have a problem. Myself, I have had to go through premature menopause because of a treatment that I had to take 7 years ago to treat cervical cancer. There's someone else there who could have had a hysterectomy, surgery, or any injury that had affected and caused premature menopause. So when a woman undergoes through premature menopause, it means that they stop having their monthly periods. So I went through premature menopause at 27. So when I'm talking about this, I have an idea what I'm talking about. So that is a cause of infertility in women. Something else that most women struggling with infertility have been told by their doctors. It could be something we call, the structural functioning, that the way the reproductive system of a woman is created. We have the ovaries, we have the fallopian tubes, we have the uterus, the cervix, the vulva, and the vagina. There are women, because of natural things that we cannot be able to change, or some that we can change, environment and such things. There are some women who are born with either conditions where their structure is not as usual. I am one of the board members in an organization called MRKH Africa. There's a condition called Mullerian agenesis. Mullerian agenesis is we will say it's a condition where a woman is born with either half of the reproductive system, or double the reproductive system, or with none, or as a hermaphrodite, a man and a woman. So those are structural causes, things that have interfered with the normal reproductive issues, the normal reproductive health of a woman. So some of them can be corrected, others cannot be corrected. So that is a cause of infertility in some women. Then there are other causes like issues to do with the ovulation. When your ovulation is having problems, some women experience very bad menstrual periods, but having having painful menstrual periods does not mean that you are infertile. It just means that the hormones are a bit imbalanced, and that's why they cause the pain. The hormones are all over, and so it doesn't mean that you are infertile. It just means that the hormone production is really confused. Another thing that causes infertility in women is when the ovary is not able to produce ova. There's a condition we call primary ovarian insufficiency. Yes, primary ovarian insufficiency. This is when the ovaries are not able to produce the follicle. Follicle is where your ova lives, you know, it lives there and matures there. When they're not strong enough to be able to withhold an ova, and so it means then that the ova will not be ready for fertilization for you to be able to conceive, or your body decides we don't want to produce any more ovas. They undergo, it undergoes something we say that the ovaries have gone into a premature season of production of the ova. So you remember that I've talked about premature menopause. What I'm talking about is not premature menopause. It is premature production of ovaries. So your ovaries decide, you know what, we are tired of producing ovaries. And this condition does not mean that you'll not have your periods. There are women who will still have their periods. This condition does not guarantee that you will not conceive a child. No. It means then if something is done, conception is very possible. So there is POI. Some people also call it POF. Other people call it premature ovarian failure. It is most people know it as premature ovarian insufficiency. So this is where your production of the ovary function is interfered with. It is just like premature menopause, but the woman will still experience some of these things that we experience when a woman is suffering from POI is that this woman feels symptoms close to what a woman going through menopause experiences. One, they'll get irritated. Two, they will have mood swings. Three, they will have hot flashes, fatigue, depression. They will have night sweats. So most women experience what a woman who is going through menopause is going through whenever they have POI. And some of the causes of POI are, genetics. It could be genetically genetical disorders. That is something that you cannot do much about it. When our follicles are very low, the beauty is we can be able to boost the follicles. We can be able to nourish them. We can be able to give them the strength that they need, and they will be able to hold an ova to fertilization, and you will be able to conceive. Something else that is likely to cause this condition is autoimmune diseases. There are people who are born or who acquire autoimmune diseases. There are quite a variety of autoimmune diseases. I know we will have a session specifically for autoimmune diseases, and we'll talk about it. So something else, among the autoimmune diseases is a condition that is in our thyroid. When a woman, most women who are struggling with infertility have ever had an issue with their thyroid function. So thyroiditis, hey, pronouncing it is hard. Thyroiditis, the issue of either high function of the thyroid or low function of the thyroid. Remember, our thyroid is where the hormones are produced. So they are able to produce and also to be moved around. So it means then that if your hormones are not in order, then you'll not be able to have a proper environment for conception. Something else that causes POI, we said, is premature ovarian insufficiency or premature ovarian failure. And it can be caused by very high toxins in our bodies. very high toxins. A woman who is exposed to high toxins, cigarettes, pesticides, chemicals, there's all these artificial sugars, all these issues, then that woman will most likely be infertile, and it is as a result of the amount of toxins in her body. So such a woman can be helped by only removing the toxins out of her body. Also, when we look at when you have the toxins, it means then that your liver function is completely messed up, also the thyroid function. Most women, and we advise, whenever a woman is struggling with infertility, another cause of infertility is obesity. When a woman is not of healthy weight. So sometimes all a woman needs in life is to shed off some weight in a healthy manner for them to be able to create a conducive environment for their body to be able to conceive a child. Another cause of infertility in women is mental health issues, depression, anxiety, all these mental health related issues that really overweigh the mind of a woman. They really cause a problem in the conception period, because they will interfere with your sex drive, they will interfere with the sex energy, and so it means that even sex will be very hard for you. The mental health issues will also trigger vaginal dryness. It will trigger other issues like low sex drive, and you're feeling so tired and you don't want anything, and it means then that conception might not be very possible. So when we look at whenever a woman comes to me as Carol, the health coach, we have to look at what are some of these causes, what is the mental health of a woman. Any woman who I've worked with through this journey, they will tell you that I am very keen on the mental health of that woman, because whenever you're highly stressed, when you're anxious, when you're depressed, you release the stress hormones. The stress hormones interfere with the production of the other good hormones. Another thing that would cause infertility in women is when we have tissues that have grown where they're not supposed to grow. So this is, it's still a part of the structure. It's the structural function of a woman's reproductive health. There are tissues that decide to grow on the fallopian tube, and when you go to the doctor, they tell you have blocked fallopian tubes. There are tissues that decide to grow next to the walls of the uterus. There is that is when they call it endometriosis. There are tissues that just wake up today and decide we want to grow inside the uterus like babies, and they are called the fibroids. They are called the uterine growths, where they grow along the walls of the uterus. They hinder conception. They hinder a woman's journey to conception. So there are structural issues like fibroids, uterine walls, uterine growths, endometriosis. There is polycystic ovary syndrome. There is there are quite a number. There are quite a number. I'm not able to mention each one of them. But the point is that these are things that are in the structure of the reproductive health interfering with the conception. Does it mean because you have polycystic polycystic ovary syndrome, or fibroids or uterine growths, all these other issues, does it mean then that you will never conceive? No. It should not be a reason for a woman to be written off and to be told that they are infertile. Infertility is now when we cannot be able to clear all these conditions, or we have cleared them and you're still not being able to conceive. Because normally what happens when a woman goes to a gynecologist or comes to see Carol Health, the health coach, and Carol sends her for an ultrasound. Carol says you need to do this blood test, and then we confirm that they have a specific condition. Then we start by treating this condition. When we study scientifically, biologically, and even logically, Wow, that was a beautiful way of saying it: biologically, scientifically, and logically. Wow. Yes, scientifically, logically, and biologically. If you look at it, all these things that we are talking about are as a result of your blood flow being interfered with, or as a result of the amount of toxins in our body. So the first thing that we do for you is we cleanse, we detoxify that body. When we show the blood how to flow in its right direction, because the causes of all these things that these things that I'm talking about, endometriosis, uterine growth, and all these things are caused by the instability of our hormones, are caused by the toxins that are in our bodies and all these things. So when we decide to just balance this whole journey, then things become easier, and that is when conception comes in. There are things, someone will ask, how will we know that a woman is infertile? What is the mode of diagnosis? Now that we've looked at the causes, and it seems that the causes in infertility in women are very many and very diverse. So it's not in your place, before I leave the causes, it's not in your place to be the first person to point your finger at someone, telling them you're barren. You know, in African society, how they say barren. That barren thing, and the way we stigmatize women who are not able to have children, or when you see a woman who has gotten married and 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, they still don't have a child, and we start pointing fingers. If we have any mother-in-law watching, if we have any young man who is married to a woman who is yet to conceive, I would want to tell you, it is not in your place. It is not in your place. It is, you have no idea what a woman's reasons are. Like, for example, the first few years after hysterectomy, after I had to let go of my uterus and my reproductive health, I have had enough time. Even today now, today it's a bit easier because maybe my story is out there. But enough times I meet someone who will ask you, why don't you have another child? Why don't you give Precious another child? And you have no idea. I seem very whole. I seem like I've got it all together. Yes, I have. But there's a reason why a woman is not a mother. And that does not mean that because they are not able to conceive that they are not a woman enough. So sometimes you have no idea the battles that these women are battling inside. And in some instances, especially in our African culture, where a man believes that most men believe that infertility is from women, some men really stigmatize a woman. And so whenever you come to Carol, the health coach, or when you go to a gynecologist with these issues, and if we do a thorough history, medical history checkup, and we see you don't have any condition, we always ask, where is your spouse? Can we also check the spouse? Because I know we will have a discussion on infertility in women, in men very soon. If we are able to conclude today with the infertility in women, next week we'll be talking about the infertility in men. Though in brief, we had gone through it in passing when we were talking about erectile dysfunction and these other conditions. But for a man, you are a couple, and infertility is not only in women. It is also in men. And so it is good when you are a couple. I have seen quite a number who have come to me. They've shared their issues, and we have had to check. And when we thought the problem was with the woman, we ended up finding out that it was the man. And we just tweaked something and it just worked out. So infertility, as we were looking at the causes, we have learned that there are quite a variety of causes of infertility in women. And we have also learned that it doesn't mean because you have been told you are infertile, you can never conceive. No, it is not the end of the world. So this is how we diagnose these issues. There are some of these issues that we've talked about that we can be able to see using an ultrasound. There's a woman who will come to me and explain their problem, and I will send them to the hospital and request for an ultrasound. There are others who we will have to do blood tests, some blood tests that are able to reveal to us the hormones, the liver function, the thyroid function, and all these things. Then there are other women who will also we can do physical examination. There are some who we can even do a pregnancy tests. So there are different causes of infertility, and the same way there are different treatments of infertility for infertility. Some of the known treatments for infertility in women is hormonal therapy. Yes, hormonal therapy is well known. It is well known because there are women who have been placed on hormonal therapy where you're given either supplements, food stuff. I am a fan of it, but I use food instead of tablets or injections. I use food to just tweak the hormones and be able to change everything. I use the mind and I use exercise to help the hormones stabilize. For most women who are having infertility issues, there is a very high likelihood they will have other related issues, like other issues related to calcium and low vitamin D insufficiency. Most women who are suffering from infertility, they have issues with low calcium, low vitamin D. And so another way we are able to treat some of these infertility issues is through providing quality calcium and vitamin D in their diet and in their bodies. Also, like for example, if a woman has POI, when a woman has POI, there's a likelihood that they will have I don't know how to pronounce that one. The one that is like arthritis, osteoporosis. Hi, Yawa. Mazelelo, thank you. I hope that is a clap. You're clapping for me. So yes, most women, because of low insufficiency of calcium, vitamin D, they end up having bone issues. And also remember that as a woman is growing old, their calcium level is going down. The other treatment of infertility is there are women who choose to go conventional way, where they do IVF. IVF is a bit complicated for me to be able to explain now that we have 7 minutes to go. But I know we will have a session where we'll talk about the conventional treatments for infertility, what are the options, and I hope I'll be able to get a gynecologist on board so that he or she can come and explain to us what are some of these conventional treatments that we can be able to do. The major treatment for infertility is where we encourage a woman to have healthy weight. Remove the toxins. We remove the toxins from the body in different diverse ways. And that is where Carol, your health coach, comes on board and is able to help you, remove all these toxins that we can be able to either see physically or we can be able to feel them. And then when your body is ready for conception, it will find a beautiful environment. There's a question, women have missed the Yes. Please, men, you are being told that this session is very important and there are fewer women today, so please take this message. We will record, and I know we are recording the session. Our able developer, Mr. Douglas, I know will be able to share with us. I know we haven't shared the other sessions, and I hope they will be able to come together. So we can be able to treat infertility in different ways. We check the mental health. Oh, finally, I see you, Makwasi. I was wondering where your face is. Team Uganda, well represented. So thank you very much. We have looked at the causes. We have looked at the symptoms. The symptoms of infertility sometimes are not seen with our bare eyes. That's why we have had to talk about the diagnosis, where we talked about the ultrasound, where we talked about the blood test, where we talked about different ways that the doctors can be able to talk about, to tell you about infertility. We have also looked at the treatment. There are very many diverse treatments for infertility. We've talked about IVF, we've talked about hormonal therapy, we've talked about the naturopathic ways of living a healthy lifestyle, removing the toxins and making sure that your body has the healthy weight, you have the right and the healthy weight, you have the right environment for your hormones and even for conception. So what are our takeaway? Thank you very much. Very educative. Oh, very nice session. Thank you very much. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I hope and I pray that we will extend these sessions, because I really love what I do. So our take home is that infertility in women is caused by a variety of causes. It can affect anyone. It doesn't have any choice. It doesn't choose any race. It doesn't choose any age, because remember, something like primary ovarian insufficiency can even find a woman in her teenage. That is something that I never mentioned, that POI can even be affect a woman in her teenage. So infertility does not have age, it does not have tribe, it does not have race. It is all over, it is with everyone. So our take home is that we will create a good environment for fertility, for conception. And the first thing we'll do is maintain a healthy weight, drink enough water to remove the toxins, exercise to remove the toxins, ensure you engage in a good diet. Remember that our hormones are destabilized by refined sugars, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, cigarette, all these things that we always talk about every Friday. Every Friday we talk about these things. So how I wish we can pursue a healthy lifestyle. When we pursue a healthy lifestyle, we'll be able to correct the infertility in men and women. So as I wind up, we only have 3 minutes. Hormonal imbalance. Yes, someone is saying teach more about hormonal imbalance and infertility. I wish I will be able to do that. We only have 3 minutes. So what we will do is we will have a session for hormonal imbalance, because hormonal imbalance does not only affect infertility. Hormonal imbalance affects our skin, our beautiful faces, affects our hair, affects our every body part. Hormonal imbalance is an issue for men and women. And so we will have a session specifically for hormonal imbalance. So thank you very much for asking for that topic. Now we have a new topic. Douglas, we are taking notes that we will have a session for hormonal imbalance. I know we have talked a lot, but we have said we are taking home that infertility is not a write-off. You have not been written off. Until it's over, it is not yet over. So be encouraged and encourage someone who is going through these issues. Sometimes we create more problems. I have no problem with conventional treatment. I have no problem. But there are some medications, there are some chemicals that we are putting in our bodies. Some things like family planning. My goodness, we will have another topic of family planning methods, and women will kill me, men will beat me up, and it is okay. I'm ready for that. We will have a session for family planning. There are some of these family planning methods that are causing infertility in women. So which ones are they? So now I want to say my goodbyes. I want to say congratulations to everyone who stayed through the session. It has been a beautiful, beautiful session. It is an honor to host you every Friday. Sorry, we missed last week, Friday. It was a beautiful, beautiful session. I was hoping that I will be able to talk and type. Oh, yes, I have a new hairstyle. Thank you. Yes. Oh, you noticed I have a new hairstyle. Yes, I'm looking hot. I'm a hot mama here. So thank you very, very much. This is Carol, your health coach, always ready to teach and to educate about naturopathic healthy living. I wish you the very best. Keep healthy and keep sipping something. Thank you for your time. Thank you. I look good today. Yes, thank you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bye-bye. I'll see you. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I will miss you. Until next week, Friday. See you. Bye-bye. Mwah.